Good morning, this is Ron Brown. This is a follow-up video to the video I put out in the Insider Club newsletter last week. I'm going to share this with everybody because people have been asking questions about VPA signals that are appearing multiple days, and I thought about this and I had some input from a customer and came up with a little different version of the video I put out last week. Now the tools I'm going to be using are you have to be an Insider Club member to have these files, but I'm using the files dated 2017-05-01, and I'm going to use under folder 15 bullish VPA flags last 10 days. And the chart I'm going to be using is in the VFB chart views. It's the number one chart, VPA 1010 force indexes and group. Now what this does, this chart is what we call a VFB chart, and whenever the conditions of a filter in the warehouse are met, then these green lines are going to appear in the chart. So I'm going to, I already have the group here, but I'm going to delete it and start over. So I'm going to pause this and take you through the process. So these are the views that I provided last week. Yes, you have to be a member of the Insider Club unless you want to make your own views, filters, and combos, but that's a lot of work. So anyway, let me show you how this works. I am using under folder 15 bullish VPA flags last 10 days. So what it's doing, it's seeking out any bullish VPA flags which were generated during the past 10 days. Now people have been wanting a count of these flags when they've been appearing. So what you do is you select the view, I should have stayed on there, and then you click through to the designer, which is this little icon up here. Now you're going, another reason for being a member of the Insider Club, you're going to have a history of the VPA. Now you can collect the VPA yourself, but I update them and every day and send them out every week. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to run this filter, which is applied because I started in the warehouse view and then I clicked on the designer, so the filter is going to be applied. And I'm going to click on this icon, which opens the group inclusion report, and I'm going to clear it. What I want to do is go down to my user groups, and I will select my non-index groups. These are called non-index because they do not generate indexes during the update process. Then I'm going to go to my VPA, and what you want to do is you want to select recent groups. So I'm going to select all of August, 3 days is all, and then I'll go back, since this is a 10-day window, I'll go back 7 more in July. So is that 3, 6, 7? So I have a total of 10 days. Remember, this is a 10-day window in the filter. I'm going to use the applied filter, bullish VPA flag recent, and the minimum number of groups that meet these requirements, or securities that meet these requirements. I'm going to require a minimum of, let's try 5. I'll make a group from the report. I already typed this in, all VPA bullish, and I'll just go with 25. You can try more if you like, and I'll say OK. And remember, this filter is being applied. Let me go ahead. I'll just make a VPA group inclusion report, and I'll save this. And it's applying the filter to those groups that I selected. And I do not need to generate an index, and here they are. You can see that RSYS came up on top with 9 in the group count. That means that the VPA signals have occurred on all of these days. Now it doesn't mean this is necessarily a stock to buy, but all we're looking for are high numbers of VPA counts. So I selected 10 there are 9, 9, 8, 8, 8, and down the list. So let's just go look at some of these. In the all VPA bullish group, which I just created, you can see that it's limited to 25. I'll click back to the warehouse view, and here we are. So this is, I believe this is a real inexpensive stock. Yes, last close is $1.69, but we'll take a look at it. It had 9 VPA flags. Now they're not all necessarily going to be bullish VPA flags, but in this, no, they weren't. Here's a negative, here's another negative. But you can see that they were there were several bullish VPA flags that were generated here, and then earnings came out, and evidently the earnings weren't liked too well. I can tell the earnings are out because the next earnings date's 10/24, and this column is not updated yet because we get weekly earnings updates in HGSI from Zacks, and that will be populated on Tuesday night. But you can tell right here that the count, if I were to count these over the past 10 days, I should have 9 signals. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And they're not all positive. But we're looking for a count, and we're looking for a positive VPA flag today or recently. Now, am I going to buy that stock because it had multiple VPA flags? I'd say it's about washed out, but no, I'm not going to buy it. This stock is in a severe downtrend, and it could stay down here for months. Let's look at a few more familiar names. Here's Twitter. I haven't looked at Twitter yet, but Twitter, let's see how many counts we had on Twitter. See if I can locate it. A fast way to do it is to hit the Control F and type in TWTR, and it takes me to Twitter. I just opened the box with a Control F, and there are 7, and the most recent was on Thursday on 8/3. So let's take a look at Twitter. Obviously, the earnings were not well received. Look at these good, excellent VPA flags up here warning that the stock was weak, and then it sold off. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4 positive. Here's a negative. Here's 5, 6, 7 over the past 10 days. Now, when the conditions are meant for positive VPA flags in a 10-day window, you're going to get a green bar here because this is a VFB chart. These were all positive VPA flags here, and then they turned negative, so it's white. Then it turned positive. Then it turned negative when we started getting positive signals again using the VFB chart. This turns green. Now there are several days of VPA here. If you like to bottom fish, this is an excellent way to do it. Now Twitter, I don't think Twitter's going to go away. I still don't understand their revenue model, but this stock is being accumulated right now. So it would have to show a little more upward movement to buy. You're going to have a ton of overhead resistance on this. But still, if you're looking for stocks that are generating multiple VPA flags and you're looking to bottom fish, this is a good way to do it. Now let's look at Starbucks, a stock that was a leader not too long ago. You can see that this area here is all green because these are all positive VPA flags, and then it turned negative. Here was a positive, a negative on earnings, and now a positive. This stock was at 54. It's around 56 right now, but once again, bottom fishing. Now, Starbucks obviously fell out of favor, but look what the group did. The group fell out of favor too. This has a group rank of 11. But once again, if you like to look at these stocks, which may be oversold, this is an excellent way to do it. Let's go to Buffalo Wild Wings. There was an article in the paper the other day that wings are being priced out And the business model for Buffalo Wild Wings obviously depends on wings, but wings are the most expensive part of a chicken now. Why? Because so many people got into the business and they want the wings. So they've been priced out. Now look at this. We have a lot. This is one negative one, but these are all positive VPA flags which are occurring. Let's see how many we had in the count on this. There were 8 in the count on this one. So, and there they are. The last one was on Thursday. But I don't need to belabor this. You get the idea. Now, you can run other filters against this too. You can run filters where the stock is in an uptrend if you don't want to bottom fish. Let me do that quickly. I have not done that yet. So I'm going to go back to this. And let's use a fan uptrend, or I can just apply the fan uptrend to this group. And these stocks are going to be in a fan uptrend. So these are much more bullish. This is Aaron's. And you can see that after some negative VPA flags, and when you get a double signal like this, an effort to rise and an upthrust, a sign of weakness, that means the stock is more than likely overbought in the short term. But this stock is also a buyable gap up. So if you buy this stock and your stop is down below the low of the gap, there's a pretty good chance that this stock is going to continue up if the earnings were good. And it looks like the earnings were positive. So this is a stock in a strong uptrend. The group is moving up, and you can put that in a watch list. General Dynamics. Okay, now the fan is still barely in place, but the 18 is above the 50, which is above the 100 and the 200, and this sold off on earnings, it looks like, and you can see what happened. All these VPA flags occurred, and this would have been an excellent bottom fish here too. Now, if I'd have run this a few days ago, it would have caught all of these before it started moving up. Acorn. That's a buyout. China Life Insurance. I kind of looked at this one, but I hate to buy, these Chinese companies that are ADRs. But once again, it meets the criteria. Let's look at CX. Flag is in place, and here are your VPA. The fan is in place, and here are your VPA flags. This one looks like it's setting up. The earnings are out of the way. Okay. Now, let's just run this quickly. I'm going to use this particular fan, and I'm going to go back into my designer. This time, I'm still going to use the same group, but this is bullish VPA flag recent uptrend because it's transferring this warehouse view automatically to the designer. And we'll go ahead and make a group from the report. I'll just call this uptrend. I don't know if I'll get 25 stocks or not. We'll just overwrite the other VPA, and we'll see what we get. Okay, so you see some of the same names here. It looks like I got 25, so let's go in here. I'll transfer these back to the warehouse. And what's the top stock here? NEO. There were 8. The last one was on Thursday. Sorry about that. NEO. Just sort by symbol. Was down yesterday, but this is a healthcare services. Look at all these long tails on here. You might, it looks like a stock that you could be stopped out of, but you can see that these long tails all generated tests for supply, and this one is an up bar closing near the high after a test confirms strength, another test for supply. Group has been going down a little bit, but it's turning back up. I don't like these long tails on it, but the earnings are out of the way. They didn't make any money this quarter, or I'm sorry, the revenue did not increase compared to the same quarter 1 year ago, but it's worth looking at. Let's look at the next one. CX, I believe I looked at that one already. Let's look at it again. Here's your VPA flags. This is cement and aggregates. So we don't have any negative VPA flags in here. This looks like it might be a decent setup if this group can go back up. Let's look at number 3. General Dynamics. We all know General Dynamics. Why can't I find it? Because it was right in front of me. Okay, so here's General Dynamics. I believe I looked at that one earlier, but it's in an uptrend. I'm not going to look at China Life Insurance. I'm going to look at MITK, Mitech Systems, and here it is right here. And you can see that it is generating multiple VPA flags, and the earnings are out of the way. One more. I don't want this to get too long. I think we've looked at Aaron's. Let's look at AEP. It had 6 VPA flags and one on Thursday. Here you go. The earnings are out of the way, and we're seeing multiple VPA flags. Okay, that's it. If you want this combination of the group inclusion report, the printed and the count, and then make a group, this is an excellent way to screen for stocks that are having multiple VPA signals, and you can look for bottom fish, or you can look for stocks that are in uptrends. Thanks for listening, and I'm going to post this to the board and to the Insider Club, and also I'll put it on YouTube.